You're innovating at an incredibly fast pace. I wanted you to talk a little bit more about Blackwell. 4 times faster on training, 30 times faster inference than its predecessor, Hopper. It just seems like you're innovating at such a quick pace. Can you keep up this rapid pace of innovation? And when you think about, your partners, how do your partners keep up with the pace of innovation you're delivering?
The pace of innovation, our basic methodology is to take, because remember, we're building an infrastructure. There's seven different chips. Each chip's rhythm is probably at best 2 years. At best 2 years. We could give it a midlife kicker every year, but architecturally, if you're coming up with a new architecture every 2 years, you're running at the speed of light. Okay, you're running insanely fast. Now, we have 7 different chips, and they all contribute to the performance. And so we could innovate and bring a new AI cluster, a supercluster, to the market every single year that's better than the last generation because we have so many different pieces to work around. And so when Blackwell is 3 times the performance, for somebody who has a given amount of power, say 1 gigawatt, that's 3 times more revenues. That performance translates to throughput. That throughput translates to revenues. And so for somebody who has a gigawatt of power to use, you get 3 times the revenues. There's no way you can give somebody a cost reduction or discount on chips to make up for 3 times the revenues. And so the ability for us to deliver that much more performance through the integration of all these different parts and optimizing across the whole stack and optimizing across the whole cluster, we can now deliver better and better value at much higher rates. The opposite of that is equally true. For any amount of money you want to spend, so for ISO power, you get 3 times the revenues. For ISO spend, you get 3 times the performance, which is another way of saying cost reduction. And so we have the best perf per watt, which is your revenues. We have the best perf per TCO, which means your gross margins. And so if we keep pushing this out to the marketplace, customers get to benefit from that, not once every 2 years, and it's architecturally compatible. And so the software you developed yesterday will run tomorrow. The software you developed today will run across your entire installed base, so we could run incredibly fast. If every single architecture was different, then you can't do this. It takes a year just to cobble together a system.
Yep.
Because we built everything together, the day we ship it to you, and it's pretty famous, somebody tweeted out that in 19 days after we shipped the systems to them, they had a supercluster up and running. 19 days. You can't do that if you were cobbling together all these different chips and writing the software. You'll be lucky if you could do it in a year. Yeah. So I think our ability to transfer our innovation pace to customers, getting more revenues, getting better gross margins, that's a fantastic thing.
In an era where artificial intelligence is not just a futuristic concept, but an ever-encroaching reality, one company towers as the undisputed king of semiconductors, Nvidia. In the backdrop of technological advancements that are reshaping industries worldwide, Nvidia emerges at the forefront, captivating both investors and tech enthusiasts alike. Recent news has radiated through the tech sphere, driving a wave of excitement. An announcement that is as electrifying as the remarkable ascent of Nvidia's stock value has set the stage for a transformative partnership. This team-up promises to revolutionize the field of robotics using cutting-edge open-source AI technology. As the buzz intensifies, Nvidia finds itself in the spotlight of the financial world, with its next quarterly report on the horizon. From its humble beginnings in high-performance graphics, Nvidia has built a legacy of innovation and leadership. The question that looms large: will Nvidia's latest venture in the realm of AI and robotics carve a new pinnacle in its storied journey? Moreover, in this high-stakes game, how will its stock react to the unfolding developments? Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
Bit of a breather today ahead of earnings next week. Some of the semiconductor trade down as well. Let's look ahead with Craig Warnemont joining us, CIO at Venture Visionary Partners. Craig, welcome to the show. Tell me about what your guys' vision is right now, particularly where AI fits in.
Great. Well, obviously, AI has been popular for a long time, and so this is not a new idea to anyone. Taking a look through Nvidia, though, and if you go back a few years ago, they were the hottest chip company because they had the best graphics chips for gaming, and then that idea became old. Then they had the fastest chips for cryptocurrency mining. Then that idea got old, and today, obviously, the king of the AI chip race. So the company has found a way to reinvent themselves, continue to innovate more so than reinvent, so that they remain on top of the next hot trend. So that's what we like about them, is their ability to stay in front of the rest of the competition.
In your definition or along your spectrum of vision and tech, where does the crypto and the Bitcoin stuff fit in? Nvidia had some history back in the day when they were powering all that mining.
Yes, absolutely they did. And that's what got them on the radar screen of a lot of retail investors, more so than institutional early on back in those days. So AI, people can talk about something being a fad or overhyped, and there will be a period where it looks like there was a whole lot of hype and not a lot of action. But just like the internet, went through a phase where we thought it'd be everything, and then people said 6 months later, "Wow, I haven't changed my life yet." And now 20 years later, you look back and just about everything you do today revolves around it. I think that the time frame for AI mass adoption will be substantially quicker, but Nvidia and others are probably still vulnerable to a bit of a pullback when people look and say, life hasn't changed much in 3 or 6 months, so maybe this was overdone.
Okay. Where do you think the bar is at right now for growth versus profitability? Do you think Nvidia still gets a pass to basically pursue growth at every measure and sort of by connection? I guess maybe a question that applies more to some of the hyperscalers that are buying all their stuff hand over fist.
Right. And, NVIDIA and a lot of the hyperscalers are actually pretty profitable. So that's another big difference between the last time everybody got very nervous that tech valuations were overdone and a lot of companies were not profitable yet. So things stack up a little better this time, but I'm sure there will be another pullback. You go on shows, it's like you put your neck back on the chopping block every time you reiterate or say that you still own something with 25% or so upside to our price target for Nvidia. But these stories don't play out in a straight line, but they do play out very well over the long term.
NVIDIA's journey through the tech and stock market landscape has been nothing short of an odyssey in transformation and unyielding innovation. From its cornerstone in GPU technology, NVIDIA has continually evolved, mastering the art of accelerated computing. This transition has propelled it into the echelons of AI leadership, directly attributing to an extraordinary 910% surge in its share price since the outset of January 2023. It has established itself as a leader, but NVIDIA's success recipe lies in its focus on seamless integration and uncompromising quality. The company's prowess is not just limited to developing the fastest AI chips, but extends to building an entire ecosystem of software tools. This ecosystem creates unprecedented value for businesses navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Adding another chapter to its tale of technological prowess is NVIDIA's recent collaboration with Hugging Face at the prestigious Conference for Robot Learning in Munich. This strategic partnership is primed to accelerate robotics research and development. The alliance brings together NVIDIA's formidable AI assets and Hugging Face's open-source capabilities, promising to break new ground across sectors as diverse as healthcare, manufacturing, and beyond. While this collaboration births immense opportunities, the anticipation among investors is palpable as they await NVIDIA's forthcoming quarterly results, scheduled for November 20th. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with NVIDIA's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
How much does the NVIDIA halo envelop other names? Should it still be a pretty concentrated pick by investors, or can we branch out? I mean, we're looking at some of these fall by the wayside here today. Supermicro keeps getting hit. A lot of folks expected AMD to catch up, never really has. List goes on.
Yeah, I agree with you. So the Mag 7 nickname took off, and then people shrunk that to Super 6 or Fab 4 as certain components started to die out. And what I've really been excited about, though, is that halo effect to those other names. One of our best performing stocks this year is AppLovin, and that's not getting a lot of publicity, probably more now than a year ago. But that second and third tier player, where they're not the one making the AI chips, they're the ones making a profit by implementing AI chips. That's where we're excited about for the next frontier.
All right. Case well made for Nvidia. One of the other ones you like in the category of that Fab 4 is Meta. Stock price certainly has been quite fabulous. You guys think this thing could get close to $800?
Yeah, in fact, our price target, they always say, is a mix of art and science. So our 780, it seems like the market tends to move things too far in each direction, and the market likes round numbers. So when you put out a target like 780, if it turned out to 800 in 12 months, we'd consider that a win. Those two are close enough. When things get really overdone, though, the market starts to look for round numbers that are a lot higher. And so, if it hit 1,000 in that 12-month period, it's always hard to ring the cash register and lock in a profit. But at some point, everything becomes overdone. My point in talking about the price target for these two in particular, though, is people talk about the easy money already being made when they look at something up 100% or a few 100%, and it was never easy the whole way up. Early goings, you're the only one sticking your neck out saying it could go a lot higher, and so you're nervous the whole way up. And then as it's getting a little closer, but you still have 25, 35% left to go, like I said, you're putting your neck back on that chopping block every day, hoping that it's not the day that you go through a 3-week pullback like mid-July to early August, and maybe the headlines calling for the demise of the tech boom were a little premature then. But sooner or later, there will be another pullback that lasts longer than 3 or 4 weeks.
Historically, Nvidia has surpassed performance expectations, consistently delivering commendable growth metrics. Over the past 5 quarters, both revenue and earnings have more than doubled, creating a trend of outperformance. Yet, those well-versed in the stock market know that stellar performance on paper does not always translate to surging stock prices. Surprisingly, despite beating estimates, Nvidia's stock experienced an 8% dip following the last earnings report. Investors are now conditioned to expect not just wins but total knockouts. The anticipation of volatility hangs in the air, with stock price movements averaging a 10.7 percentage point shift post-announcement. Amidst these fluctuations and the aura of unpredictability, Susquehanna's Christopher Rowland confidently describes Nvidia as the world's de facto enabler of AI, highlighting the company's strategic foresight and visionary approach. Beyond financial metrics, Nvidia is a linchpin for future technological innovations. Its strategic focus on harnessing AI and robotics reflects not just current market needs, but anticipates and shapes the future of technology, enhancing its appeal to growth-minded investors. Markets keenly observe the seamless integration capabilities Nvidia harnesses, transforming potential technological dreams into reality. This orchestration is particularly evident in sectors such as healthcare, where AI-driven robotics can revolutionize patient care and precision medicine. Similarly, manufacturing benefits from AI-powered automation, promising efficiency and innovation unheard of in earlier industrial revolutions. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Welcome to The Wrap. I'm Oliver Rennick, here to take you through today's market action. Let's look at where stocks finished the session. The Russell stormed ahead with a 1.5% rally. Dow was up pretty big too, and the S&P did notch another advance, but the Nasdaq was a little bit lower. We're going to check out some of the tech movers, as that's where a good bit of the action was. Leading sectors, though, consumer discretionary and banks way out in front. Tech was behind. A few other groups slipped as well, including real estate and healthcare. But really, it was a tech story today and what limited the market. But consumer discretionary stocks continue to be powered by Tesla. It's just incredible. The EV biz is up 40% since the start of this month. Dan Ives at Wedbush raised the firm's price target on Tesla to 400 from 300. He calls Donald Trump's White House win a, quote, game changer for autonomous driving and AI. He anticipates a federal regulatory spider web will be cleared. That's another quote. However, the president-elect promised to eliminate EV tax credits, some arguing that could benefit Tesla, but that's a little bit more of a twisted logic. Let's look at Nvidia, which was down 1.6% today, despite getting price target hikes from Piper Sandler, Morgan Stanley, Melius Research, and UBS. Piper cites Nvidia's, quote, dominant positioning in AI with its upcoming Blackwell launch. Morgan Stanley expects another very good quarter, but thinks upward revisions will come later in the year, saying the current environment is completely supply constrained for Blackwell. TSMC might have been to blame for Nvidia's slippage today. The U.S. Department of Commerce will prohibit sales of Taiwan Semiconductors AI chips to China. Last month, one of TSMC's products was found inside Huawei AI chips. Tomorrow, we've got some earnings. Home Depot, On Holding, and Shopify before the bell. Afterwards, we've got Spotify, Marathon Digital, Kava Group, and Rocket Lab.
NVIDIA's position as an unchallenged AI titan stands firm, resonating through both technology and investor circles. Industry analysts remain overwhelmingly bullish, with compelling recommendations to either buy or hold NVIDIA stock, underpinned by the extensive growth potential laid before it. Wall Street anticipates NVIDIA's earnings growth will persist at an impressive 50% annually through 2026, suggesting its current valuation is justified and perhaps conservative in light of its strategic moves and market sway. For prospective investors, NVIDIA presents more than just a stock option. It's a gateway to the boundless possibilities of AI and technological advancement. Through its innovative ventures and agile strategic collaborations, investing in NVIDIA is not merely a transaction. It's a proactive bet on the future of AI and computing, a future teeming with promise and potential. As we keenly await each unveiling chapter of NVIDIA's ongoing saga, here lies an open-ended question. What horizons do you foresee in NVIDIA's journey? How do you believe this bold evolution will shape the future architectures of the stock market and, more broadly, the world of technology? And finally, if you would like to know what companies like NVIDIA have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.